So mentally, like, 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad, 1 minute I'm feeling like, fuck this shit. I just feel like I don't got a personality no more, and it just really hurts.
So you're saying that Caresha is...
She's a predator no different than Nicki Minaj. She likes that. That turns her on.
Young Miami has finally spoken out about Diddy, and what she's revealing is even worse than anyone imagined. But she's not just talking about the relationship anymore.
So, like, what you like about me? Cause people be like, she ain't his type, he wouldn't talk to her. So, what is it about me that you like about me?
From secret payments and drug allegations to the darkest corners of Diddy's private world, the City Girls rapper is done staying quiet.
I've been saying it.
Yeah.
How many times I got these is wild.
So do you feel like people, when they hear Pink and Young Miami has to bring across,
Wait, the two C.
This is the story nobody in hip-hop wanted told. So let's get into it. Before Young Miami ever crossed paths with Diddy, she was already making a name for herself on the streets of Miami. Born Caresha Brownlee, she grew up in Opa-locka, one of the roughest neighborhoods in South Florida. By 22, she was performing in strip clubs, nightclubs, and block parties. Before the rapping even started, she was an Instagram influencer pushing her own fashion line. But music was always the goal. She met JT, and together they formed the City Girls in 2017. Their debut track, F.N, was literally a diss to their exes for being cheap, and that energy became their entire brand. They signed with Quality Control Music and dropped their first mixtape, Period, in 2018. That same year, they got an uncredited guest spot on Drake's In My Feelings, and suddenly the whole world knew who the City Girls were. From there, things moved fast. Their debut album, Girl Code, dropped in 2018. Platinum-certified singles like Twerk with Cardi B and Act Up turned them into one of the biggest female rap duos in the game. But Caresha's personal life was never simple. Her son, Jai's father, Jai Wiggins, was fatally shot in 2020. By 2021, rumors started circulating that Young Miami was seeing someone new. Someone much older, someone much more powerful. The gossip columns were whispering about her and Sean Diddy Combs, and neither of them was rushing to deny it. They were spotted together at events, on vacation, living lavish. But nobody confirmed anything. Then in June 2022, Diddy appeared on the very first episode of Miami's podcast, Caresha Please, which aired on his own Revolt network. And when she asked him point blank what they were, he gave an answer that would define the next 2 years of both their lives.
So what we is?
We date. We dating. We go have dates. We friends.
Okay.
We go to exotic locations.
But the way he said it, nervous, vague, sweating through the charm, told a different story. Because what Young Miami was walking into was far bigger, far darker, and far more dangerous than a situationship with a music mogul. The relationship between Young Miami and Diddy was never easy to define. She called it dating. He called it dating. But neither of them called it exclusive, and that became the whole problem. In September 2022, Miami told XXL that they were single but dating. She said when they were together, but they were still technically single. She said people didn't understand what dating meant. The internet had a field day with that one. But she seemed unbothered. She was showing up at his events, holding up a Go Poppy sign during his BET Lifetime Achievement Award speech, and posting about how proud she was of him on Instagram. Then December 2022 happened. Diddy announced the birth of his 7th child, a baby girl named Love Sean Combs. The mother was a 28-year-old woman named Dana Tran, not Young Miami. Fans immediately called Miami a side chick. DJ Academics said it publicly. She fired back on X, saying she was nobody's side anything. Diddy backed her up a day later, calling her special and saying nobody should mess with his shoddy wop. But the cracks were showing. In January 2023, Miami made a comment on her podcast about liking to receive golden showers, and the internet immediately assumed she was talking about her time with Diddy.
Okay.
Yeah, why I picked this one.
Oh, Lord. What is it?
I can't say it.
You got to.
It say take a shower. If you like golden showers, I do.
Golden showers, meaning when the guy pees on you, pee on you everywhere, you like it?
I just like it.
By April 2023, she confirmed to The Cut that they were done. She said they were still good friends, still single, and that she wasn't going to put a title on what they had. She called it a situation and left it at that. But the breakup didn't last long. Days later, they showed up together at the Met Gala. When Lala Anthony asked Diddy on camera if it was official, he started sweating and fumbling his words. He said they definitely go together real bad, but couldn't commit to much more than that. By September 2023, they were still showing up together at events like Revolt World. But behind the scenes, something much bigger was about to explode. Because in November 2023, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit that would change everything. And when the details came out, they were worse than anyone could have predicted. When Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit against Diddy in November 2023, it sent shockwaves through the entire music industry. And the allegations were horrifying.
Cassie describing the music mogul as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man, saying she was trapped and held down by Combs. She's now suing him for what she says happened during what she's calling a cycle of abuse.
Cassie had signed with Bad Boy Records as a teenager. By 19, she was under Diddy's control. The lawsuit described a decade of alleged that included physical violence, forced drug use, and coerced encounters with male sex workers that Diddy allegedly directed and recorded. She described these sessions as freak-offs, claiming they happened regularly in upscale hotel suites across the country. According to the lawsuit, Diddy would supply her with ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, and other substances before and during these encounters, often to the point where she would dissociate entirely. The lawsuit also alleged that Diddy would film everything, treating it like what the filing called a personal art project. She claimed he adjusted the lighting and directed the participants. She said she was instructed to find men through escort services, and that Diddy's assistants helped arrange the logistics, including providing baby oil and lubricants. The physical abuse was just as disturbing. The lawsuit described Diddy as having an uncontrollable rage. It claimed he punched, kicked, and stomped Cassie multiple times throughout their relationship. In one incident around March 2016, he allegedly punched her in the face during a freak-off, giving her a black eye. When she tried to escape, he allegedly chased her through a hotel hallway, throwing glass vases. Hotel security reportedly urged her to leave after reviewing the footage. According to the filing, Diddy later paid hotel staff $50,000 for that hallway surveillance footage. When Cassie tried to date someone else in 2012, the lawsuit claimed Diddy retaliated by blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Cudi himself confirmed this was true.
Now, Cudi said he received a phone call telling him that Combs was breaking into his home in the Hollywood Hills. When he got there, he found Christmas presents that had been unwrapped, and his dog was locked in a bathroom. When he returned to Los Angeles in January, he said his Porsche 911 convertible, his car, was firebombed.
Diddy settled the lawsuit within 24 hours. His team called the allegations outrageous and accused Cassie of trying to extort him for $30 million. But the speed of that settlement raised more questions than it answered. And for young Miami, the fallout was immediate. She spent the 24 hours after the lawsuit broke planning a Friendsgiving. She didn't say a word about the allegations publicly, and people noticed. Meanwhile, Diddy's former head of security, Roger Bonds, posted on Instagram that he was ready to tell my truth. saying he had been quiet for too many years and that nothing mattered now but family. He never followed through with specifics, but the message was clear. People inside Diddy's circle were starting to crack. If young Miami thought she could keep her distance from Diddy's legal problems, that hope died in early 2024. In February of 2024, Diddy's former producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, filed a $30 million lawsuit accusing the mogul of sexual assault and harassment. Lil Rod claimed Diddy had tried to groom him into sexual encounters during his time working on the album. The original filing was explosive enough, but in March 2024, Lil Rod amended the lawsuit with 25 additional pages, and this time, young Miami's name was in the documents. The amended lawsuit alleged that Diddy had a strong preference for pink nose candy, a synthetic drug mixture combining ecstasy and cocaine, also known as Tushy.
I've been saying it.
Yeah.
How many times I got some these is wild.
So do you feel like people, when they hear pink and young Miami has to bring across, that's...
Wait, the Tusi.
His usual supplier was an associate named Brendan Paul, who was later arrested on drug charges. But according to the filing, during rehearsals for the Something in the Water festival in Virginia, Paul forgot the drugs. So Diddy's chief of staff allegedly called young Miami, who then flew the pink from Miami on a private jet. That wasn't all. The lawsuit also claimed Diddy would brag about paying multiple women a monthly stipend to act as S-workers, and that young Miami was allegedly among them, receiving wire transfers or cash payments. Miami fired back immediately. She took to X, calling the allegations false, and said people would believe anything. She specifically denied being paid $250,000 a month, tweeting that the internet had made it up and everyone just ran with it. Sources close to her told TMZ that she had time-stamped photo evidence proving she was in New York City getting fitted for her Met Gala dress during the exact time Lil Rod claimed she was transporting drugs in Virginia. Then 50 Cent got involved. He dug up an old clip from the Jason Lee show where Miami had jokingly called herself a whore during a conversation about gay slang. He posted it on Instagram alongside the dictionary definition of the word. Miami responded in the comments, saying the clip was taken completely out of context and that the term was a slang she used with her gay friends. She wrote plainly, "I'm not a prostitute." But the damage was done. Her name was now permanently linked to Diddy's legal nightmare. In May 2024, everything escalated. CNN obtained and aired surveillance footage from a Los Angeles hotel showing Diddy physically assaulting Cassie in a hallway in 2016. The video showed him grabbing her, throwing her to the ground, and kicking her. It was exactly what the lawsuit had described, and now the whole world could see it. Diddy issued a public apology video, saying he was disgusted with himself.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was up.
Shortly after, fans noticed young Miami had unfollowed him on social media. She had been silent through the Cassie lawsuit and through the Lil Rod allegations, but seeing the footage seemed to be the breaking point. In August 2024, Miami finally addressed things on Caresha Please. She said she couldn't speak on something that wasn't her experience. She said those events allegedly happened before she was in Diddy's life. She pointed out that when she met him, the world was celebrating him with Lifetime Achievement Awards and keys to cities. She asked why she was being singled out for supporting someone alongside everyone else.
When I got with him, he was just a man. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience.
Then, in September 2024, Diddy was arrested in a New York hotel lobby and charged with STFing, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The trial began in May 2025 and lasted nearly 2 months. Cassie testified in devastating detail about the freak-offs, the drug use, and years of physical abuse. Another woman, identified only as Jane, described similar experiences. The prosecution argued Diddy used power, violence, and fear to get what he wanted. On July 2, 2025, the jury returned a split verdict. Diddy was found not guilty of racketeering conspiracy and not guilty of trafficking, but he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution under the Mann Act for flying his girlfriends and male workers across state lines for the drug-fueled sexual encounters. Young Miami's reaction was cryptic. She posted a clip of Justin Bieber doing a 2-finger clap with a smile, which most people read as her celebrating him beating the most serious charges. She deleted it shortly after. Then came the sentencing. And before that, Young Miami did something that surprised almost everyone. To understand why the public scrutiny on Young Miami was so intense, you have to understand the full scope of what surrounded Diddy long before she ever met him. Start with Kim Porter. Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of 3 of his children died suddenly in November 2018 at the age of 47. The official cause of death was lobar pneumonia, but the circumstances raised questions that have never fully gone away. The first coroner's report reportedly found toxins in her body and listed the cause of death as undetermined. That original coroner reportedly died under unclear circumstances before a second one attributed the death to pneumonia. Jaguar Wright alleged publicly that certain poisons can mimic pneumonia symptoms and implied a connection to Diddy. There were also unverified claims that Kim had been working on a tell-all book about her life with him.
I need to know, do you think that Diddy Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters.
According to online sources, she allegedly sent a group text to close friends shortly before her death saying, "He got me," and that her phone was reportedly confiscated by Diddy's security team after he arrived at her home. None of this has been proven, but it created an atmosphere of fear and suspicion around Diddy that made the public deeply protective of any woman in his orbit. Then there were the persistent rumors about Diddy's sexuality. Former security chief Keefe D claimed Diddy attended secret parties with other A-list celebrities. Jaguar Wright alleged a friend walked in on Diddy in a compromising situation with singer Christopher Williams. Jamie Foxx told a story about attending one of Diddy's private parties. Danny Boy, a former death row artist, spoke publicly about closeted men in the industry. And Diddy himself made a drunken comment on a live stream with Kevin Hart about sharing a bed with Usher, which he later tried to brush off. For Young Miami, who had publicly expressed homophobic views in the past, including a tweet about beating her son if she saw anything gay in him, the irony was not lost on the internet. People questioned whether her entire relationship with Diddy was a cover, a carefully constructed public image designed to deflect from his private life. In September 2025, ahead of Diddy's sentencing, Young Miami wrote a character letter to Judge Aaron Subramanian. It was one of 75 letters submitted on Diddy's behalf. In it, she called him loving, genuine, supportive, and always encouraging. She said he motivated her, believed in her, and helped her grow both personally and professionally. She highlighted the Met Gala, the Thanksgiving where they fed the homeless together, and the Caresha Please platform he gave her on Revolt. She told the judge he was not a danger or a threat to the community. She called him a man of God and a good man, and said he belonged at home with his family. She also made one thing clear: she could not speak on or defend anything that happened before she met him. She did not condone any wrongdoing. On October 3, 2025, Judge Subramanian sentenced Diddy to 50 months in federal prison, just over 4 years. He also hit him with a $500,000 fine and 5 years of supervised release. Prosecutors had asked for over 11 years. Diddy's lawyers had pushed for just 14 months, arguing time served should count. The judge landed in the middle, telling Diddy directly that it went on so long because he had the power and resources to keep it going, and because he wasn't caught. Before the sentence was read, Diddy addressed the court. His voice broke. He called his actions disgusting, shameful, and sick. He apologized to the victims and said he had been humbled and broken to his core. When the sentence came down, he showed no visible reaction. His family was in tears. As he left the courtroom, he turned to them and said he was sorry. His defense team immediately vowed to appeal, calling the sentence unconstitutional. Diddy is currently serving his time at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, with a projected release date of June 2028. And Young Miami, she has moved on, at least publicly. She has been linked to NFL player Stephon Diggs. Her drinking game Russia Roulette has passed $1 million in sales. She attended the 2025 BET Awards. She keeps releasing music and building her brand. But the questions haven't stopped. People still want to know what she saw, what she knew, whether she stayed quiet out of fear, out of loyalty, or because she genuinely didn't know. Only Caresha Brownlee has the answer to that. What we do know is this: the world Diddy built behind closed doors was nothing like the one he showed the cameras. And Young Miami, for better or worse, had a front row seat. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.